So we're going to introduce our next guest. This is Brianna Bennett, who has one of the longest titles I've seen. I'm going to have to read this. Sustainability Coordinator at Hingham Municipal Lighting Plant. And it's so funny. Whenever I interview people, I have to ask them, can you spell your first and last name for me and then give me your title? And they give me their title. I'm like, do you have a shorter one than that? But that's a nice long title. So tell me about, how you got into this and, what's your background? How do you become a sustainability coordinator?
Sure, yeah. So I've worked at HMLP for a little over 2 years now. I've always had an interest in environmental policy. So I just recently got my master's degree from the Harvard Extension School, which is exciting. I graduated from Merrimack College with my bachelor's degree before that in environmental policy and sustainable development. And then I'm a graduate of Hull High School. I've just had this interest in environment for years. So that's
and you're still only 20 years old. How did you get all this done?
Well, I'm 25, but thank you. I don't know. It was a blur, honestly. But I have to say I really like working with towns. I used to work for the town of Cohasset, and ever since I came to Hingham, I've seen even more impact, and that's why I like this work so much, is getting to see the impact it makes in people's lives.
And all of this stuff has really been taking off. I want to say it's, people, there have been the environmentally conscious people for years, but really words like sustainability, people are hearing this a lot, and they're starting to understand. I mean, I'm old enough to remember just 10 years ago when it was impossible to find, a charging station. And now it seems like they're popping up everywhere. They've got them in my the parking lot at my Stop and Shop. I was like, oh, they're really going for it. They're really doing this here. So that's a pretty big deal. And I'm curious, what are some of the benefits of Hingham having its own energy plant? That seems like a pretty big deal, pretty beneficial. Can you talk to me about that?
Yeah, we're proud of it. There are 4 big things that go with it. It's reliability, the local control, local service, and the community commitment that we make. So everybody knows Hingham Light's reliable, which is great. They know if their power goes down, we're going to get you up in minutes or hours at most, if not. Like other towns will experience days of power outages if they have those bigger utilities. Yeah. We have local control, so the residents vote for our 3-person light board every year, and the light board sets the company policy, and they elect the general manager who enacts the policies, and they set the rates. And then local service, our customer service department is outstanding. They'll get customers anything they need. They're on the phones every day with them. And then when it comes to community commitments, we have a lot of different programs we'll put in place to help people. We don't really drive ourselves by profit because we're here for the ratepayers. So we want to keep rates affordable. We want to help people get their electric bills down. That's why we do a lot of the programming that we do.
I love the sound of this already. I love the sound of it. So, I mean, a lot of times when it comes to energy in any of this, I feel like I need somebody who's able to translate it into layman's terms so somebody like me can understand exactly what it is that you're doing. Is that one of your, does that fall into the purview of what you do?
Well, don't ask me to explain the distribution system because I definitely can't do that for you. But I do try to explain a lot of the initiatives we're doing when it comes to how you can save energy in your house, when it comes to getting things like a heat pump or weatherization. So there are all sorts of initiatives we're doing to get people to try to go electric and be efficient and save that money on their energy bill.
And that's the big thing. If you can explain to somebody in simple terms how they can save money, they're all ears. I'm all ears. I just know that I've gotten blasted with, electric bills in the past. And it's like, I don't remember running my heat like that, but that's a whole different story. So obviously you're going to have some initiatives that involve solar and, like I mentioned earlier, charging stations. Can you talk to me about some of these initiatives here in town?
Sure. So our big initiative right now is Electrify Hingham, which is actually on my t-shirt. So Electrify Hingham is something we're working with a lot of town committees on, like the Climate Action Commission and other community groups, to try to give people the resources they need to cut their energy bills, but also go electric and get off of fossil fuels. Hingham, a couple of years ago, voted to be net zero by 2040. So we're trying to help with that initiative as a part of our community commitment. Electrify Hingham has rebates for, again, heat pumps, weatherization, EV chargers, all sorts of different things, solar. So whatever people are interested in, when they call us up, we try to help them. That's our biggest thing right now. And then we just got the EV chargers installed all around town. So you can find 10 level 2 ports around Hingham to charge up your car. There's 3 DCFCs, which are our fast charging stations. And then we just installed 10 more ports at the light plant. So now our employees can charge.
Nice. All right. So someone's going to have to explain to me what exactly is net zero. Can you tell me what net zero is? Because I hear these things a lot and I have no idea what it means.
Well, the big part is that we're trying to cut back on our carbon emissions. That's the easy explanation. I think if you ask people, everybody has a little bit different of a definition of net zero.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to try to quote that for you, but it's about, reducing your carbon, getting the oil out of your house. It's about, trying to use less gas in your car. It's about doing whatever you can. Some people compost at their house. There's a whole bunch of
Composting is
different ways.
great. Composting is fantastic. My mom's been doing it I have friends have been doing it for years. I should probably start doing it. I haven't gotten around to doing it. But so tell me about these charging stations. I don't understand how they work. Do you have to hold it or can you just plug it into the car and walk away?
You can plug it in and walk away, go get a cup of coffee, have dinner.
And how does it work? Do people just put their credit cards in there? Can you pay? It's not like when you fill up your tires and you got to plug the thing with quarters, right?
I got to be honest, I haven't filled up my tires too much. I can say, a lot of people download the Flow app because we have Flow charging stations, but you can do it with different cards. If you have like a Flow card or a ChargePoint card, EV drivers tend to have like a card they can swipe at the station.
Okay.
Or you just do it right from your phone and you can connect virtually to any station and just charge. So I can plug in and then I can control it after I walk away, which is kind of cool.
That is cool. This world of technology is going right over my head. All right, so it is the 4th of July, and I got called out by our last guest for never having attended a parade in my life. And I'm trying to think of like fun 4th of July memories, and usually they revolve around, fireworks and things like that. How about you?
I've actually also never been to a parade before, which is crazy. My favorite 4th of July memory always happened on the 3rd of July.
Okay.
We would go to my grandfather's house and sit out on his dock over the water and watch the fireworks. So
That's fun. I think for me, there was one year, it didn't even involve fireworks. They got canceled. They got rained out, and my dad took us to the movies. And we saw Raiders of the Lost Ark, and it was a blast. It was a good time. We missed the fireworks, but que sera, sera. But that was like 100 years ago. So this will be fun. We're each going to enjoy our first parade this year, and hopefully the weather holds out and we're doing all right. Hey, I want to thank you for stopping in. This was awesome.
Yeah,
What are your plans for the rest of the day, by the way?
I'm actually going over to walk in the parade. We've got the bucket truck and a couple of electric cars, so we'll be there with the Electrify Hingham banner. We hope to see everybody there.
Oh, that's really cool. I should have asked, since we still have like a couple minutes here, how big a deal was it to get into the parade? That's a prominent thing.
Well, the bucket truck's in it every year, so we're just happy to be here and represent the community in whatever way we can. But I think it wouldn't be a parade without the big trucks.
Yeah, right. Tell me about it. Well, thanks again for stopping in.